Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Social Media Decoded podcast, the number one podcast to help you understand social media better so that you grow your business, get more clients, and monetize. And today I am super excited. Y'all know how I get when I have special guests, but today's guest has like 18 plus years of marketing experience. So, of course, we're about to nerd out when it comes to marketing and one of our favorite platforms, Instagram. So, I am joined by my friend Shannon from Instagram. Thank you so much, Shannon, for joining the Social Media Decoded podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. This is going to be a lot of fun. I love to nerd out over this stuff.
Yes. So could you tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself and how did you get started with Instagram? Because you have a massive following of over 143,000 followers. So we really want to know, how did you get started with this?
I got started, I think I started my account in like 2016, but I didn't start showing up till about 2018. I've been a social media manager since 2012. Started my business in 2015. So, I was really growing everyone else's accounts and not my own. And then when I started growing all my clients, I was like, wait a minute, like, let me show my account some love. And I kind of unlocked how to grow on Instagram way back then. This is before Reels, before even stories. Slow growth was totally normal and fine. And so I grew very slowly, just stayed committed and really bonded with the people that I was connected to then. I really leaned in on my local community as well. I didn't really try to go way outward. I just stayed focused and hyper local and then continued to grow from there. And now I support business owners all over the world, helping them grow on Instagram, other platforms too, and just really, have some fun with their content and enjoy being online.
Oh, I love that. That's a good segue into fun because I feel
Yes.
like Instagram can be a place where people feel like the fun is sucked out. What tips do you have to that new business owner who's like, I'm sick of Instagram, I'm trying all the things and I'm not growing? It's not fun. What are some things that we can do to make it more fun so that we show up? And like you said, stop posting for everybody else's business, but post for our own businesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it sounds so cliche, but hear me out, but like go back to basics. There is so much noise. It's absolutely insane. And I tell everyone, I'm like, my strategy has barely shifted all these years. I think a lot of people forget that we're on here to connect with humans. So the more you can just kind of share the mundane stuff, and I'm talking more Instagram stories right now, but like really use Instagram stories. If you're struggling, sometimes I just tell people take a break from posting, but like keep showing up on stories because that's where the magic happens anyway. That's where the connections happen. That's where the DMs really come from. That's where I convert more on stories than anything else too, still even to this day. So really take time to get to know your audience. Every time someone's frustrated, I'm like, well, what does your audience want to hear today? And they can't tell me that. And they have no idea. I'm like, well, that's the problem. You don't know what they want to hear or need to hear. And as soon as we figure that thing out that they need to hear, boom, and everything kind of clicks. So again, when you think about why is everyone picking up their phone? Why is the mom and drop off picking up the phone right now, right? Why is the person waiting to in line at whatever store picking up their phone? Because they just want a little dose of what's going on in the world. What's something cool I can learn right away? What's something that will make me smile and make me laugh? We're on there, we want to give us a reason to follow you, give us content that we want to see or something that we need to hear. And you will get reactions, impressions, and reach.
Oh, that was a good masterclass that you just gave us right there. Okay. I hope you all are taking notes because I bring the experts with the gems, and Shannon has dropped several gems within the first few minutes of this podcast.
Thank
So
you.
make sure that you all are taking notes. So I hear you, but there are some people who
Yeah.
are like, it's just too much with Instagram. There's so many different tools or features to focus on. I agree with Instagram stories. So what can we do? Like if we're like, okay, because there's so many people focused on follower growth. What is
Yes.
your, I want to say, strategy to that? Because it's not about, both of us know it's not about the followers. It's about quality versus quantity. So what would you say to that business owner who is like, I need 10,000 followers today?
I would say go in on reels and double down. I love reels. Now, if you hate reels, you don't have to do reels to grow. Carousel posts still do well, shoot static posts still do well. It is about quality content too. But again, you need before you just start throwing stuff out there, like like I said, really get to know your audience. What is keeping them up at night? What are the funny situations they can relate to? Like, think about what is something that they would save or share. Because once you get people saving and sharing your content, I mean, comments and likes, huge, great. But like saves and shares, really send that signal to the algorithm. And of course, if someone shares it, you're getting in front of more people anyway. But I always ask sometimes my clients, I'm like, would you share this? Would you save this? What would you comment on it? What would you do? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, see, so your people have no idea what to do with this information and whether it's interesting. So number one, know your audience. And again, get back to basics. What is it that makes them laugh? What is it that makes them tick? Right? Get to know them. And then from there, create a piece of content around that. Create the content around your audience, right? I mean, even like I said, going back to basics and that we follow people. Let's say I shared, if you're really stuck, I would tell a client, throw a reel up or a carousel post, I mean, a photo dump of what you did today. Like, that's all Instagram's ever been. What would you do today? Where'd you eat? What'd you do? Who'd you talk to? What'd you read? What'd you watch? Right? And this is so funny. I have a lot of my clients do this. I'm like, post what you would have posted if you did not have a business. What would you post? Hey, here's a glimpse of my day. In the caption, talk about what you did today, why you did it, what your highlight was, and ask someone else, what was your day like? Because what you're doing there is, one, you're inviting them into your world, and that's a big part of Instagram too. And two, by talking about your day and what you did, you're reminding them of what you do. They might not purchase from you right because of that. That's not really a sales generating post. But again, like I tell everyone, go back to basics. Instagram is we're being nosy. We want to see what people are doing. So with that said, though, Reels is a great way to grow. But if you're just trying to reconnect with your audience, like, hey, just as a reminder, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm up to. Here's what my summer has looked like. We still love those humanizing posts. And then second, just kind of give it a little jolt. And then second, I would start doubling down on Reels just to, look at what the audios, you hear an audio you like that's trending, tap on it, look at the audios. I'm sorry, look at the Reels within that audio. Look at the ones with the big numbers, figure out why they have big numbers and mimic it. And just in your own niche, right? Like I say the reel is from a doctor and it's giving tips on this, or it's showing the latest hack or the da-da-da-da. Well, how can you do that for your industry? I mean, a lot of it is just seeing what's working and doubling down and doing the same thing in your brand voice. No copying, right? But like, that's really, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I tell everyone, I'm like, nothing's new. I don't copy anyone's, but you best believe when I hear an audio, I tap on it and I do some digging before I create. I'm like, what's this concept? Right? I think a lot of people hear trending audio, they think, oh, this trending audio is going to save me. The idea is going to save you. So that was a long way of saying, if you want followers.
No, that was good, because I was going to go into that when you said, look, now this trending audio, jump on it. And you said, don't reinvent the wheel. No one is reinventing the wheel, you all.
No one.
Don't copy. But if you see, just like you said, if it's somebody who has a niche and they're talking about, they're a doctor, and I'm going to take it and we're going to take it and put it in marketing terms for what we do.
That's it.
Don't reinvent the wheel. We're spending too much time, I think, like, oh, well, I don't know what to post. They're telling you what to post. Everyone is telling us what to post, literally. So I want to talk about trending sounds too, because some people may feel like it's overwhelming. What are your thoughts on like a mix of trending, but also original content, original sounds?
I love it. Yeah. So I actually do every week, I do usually 2 trending audios and 2 original. So just talking to the camera. And the way I tell people, and not to get on TikTok because that'd be a whole nother podcast, but people are like, what should I be doing on TikTok? I'm like, literally treat TikTok like Instagram stories. The stuff that's blowing up on TikTok right now is me going, okay, so I just got off this podcast and we were talking about this. I mean, that's what's doing well on TikTok. It's kind of interesting to watch unfold. Again, I tell everyone, like, it's like we're going back, right? We're going back to basic social media, just having conversations. But for those original, I think we overthink the original content. If you can't afford the videographer and have a script written and stuff, just get on and be like, oh my gosh, I heard this crazy quote. Da, 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 da. Here's what it means to me. Like, we want information from your perspective, period. So talk to the camera, make sure you have decent lighting. So do some originals. So that's what I usually do. I do a couple original and then I do a couple trending audios. But the trending audios are usually because I vibe with the audio, right? I don't just do a trend because it's a trend. So that's another thing, I think.
Oh, and you said a good point too. I like how your content, it's fun, it's uplifting, it's funny. So if you're not naturally a funny person, don't expect your content to be funny. Like I have some dry humor and like I do funny stuff too, but I know that people like that. So what do I do? Recreate more content just like that. So I love that. So I hope y'all taking these notes. She said 2 reels with the trending sounds and 2 reels with original audio. And I heard you say something about scripts. So I've been using ChatGPT. So I want to talk about that. So you must have too. So if someone is stuck, I found that if I say, hey, make a TikTok script and I just use it for Instagram because it's going to make it short to the point. And you can just record that. And like you said, if you don't have, all a videographer or whatever, you don't even need that. You need a ring light, a tripod, and your phone. Record you saying those scripts, cut it up, and put it in CapCut or whatever and post it. So what are your thoughts on ChatGPT helping us when we're stuck on these content ideas for Instagram?
I love it. And it's great for people who are really like, I don't know what to say. You can literally say, write me a script, write me a caption for da da da. But what I like to say is it's like a hammer. So like you still need a human behind it for it to be effective, right? So like go through it and then zhuzh it up in your own words. But I love to take the captions I've already written, throw them in there, regenerate, and then it's a brand new caption. And I'll turn that into like maybe that was my script of a reel, but then now I'll make it a carousel post and I'll make it graphic. So I think again, work smarter, not harder. We are all so overwhelmed and busy, and you throw this in the mix and it's like, but even if you're only posting 4 to 5 times a week, you're doing more than most. So, you don't have to do I'm not someone who does every day because I physically can't. I would absolutely burn out. But like we were saying right before we started, like you can't just post once or twice a week and think I'm about to go off. You've got to be consistent. But really when you figure out those frameworks that work for you, a quick talk to the camera, that could take you 5 minutes if you know exactly what you want to say. And ones like that don't require long captions because you've said it, right? Usually when I do a trending audio, I keep the captions a little longer, but I like writing. If that's not your thing, reels are going to save you, right? Just figure out, do you prefer the writing aspect? Do you prefer the video? And kind of figure out where your skills are and go from there. But you definitely use Chat GPT to come up with ideas. But put your own spin on it from your perspective.
Another masterclass that you have given us about ChatGPT, about posting. This is so good. Y'all, I hope you are taking notes. Make sure you tag me on Instagram at Michelle L. Thames and let me know what are your thoughts on this podcast. Is Shannon dropping gems? Because I know she is. And make sure to go follow her too. All of her information will be down in the show notes because she has a really good Instagram. And I'm not just saying this. Y'all know I search for the best experts. We vet everybody on this show. They really know what they're talking about. Because one thing about me in this podcast, and y'all already know this, is that I love social media. But what I also love is real experts like Shannon who come on here and share their actual strategies, what they're doing with you, that this could have been paid, right? But you're getting this in gems, in short to the point, actionable things that you can go do. So I hope after each episode that this is what you're doing, that you're implementing, because as I'm listening, I'm definitely about to. And I have been stepping it up with Instagram, but I love the 2 trending audio and the 2 original audio because that's the way that I was going. So now that one of the Instagram experts has said it, I'm on the right track. Okay. Yes. So I'm learning too, y'all. Just because I'm on, I host this podcast, I am learning from all the guests because 18 years social media, oh my gosh, it's just, this is a powerful episode. You all are taking notes. A lot.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
But this has been like such a great episode. I'm so thankful that you came on and shared all this amazing gems. But this next part of my podcast is one of my favorites. So it's the section where we talk about any books, podcasts, or resources that have helped you along your entrepreneur journey that you would like to share with the listeners here today.
Oh my gosh, yes. It is called Obsessed. And I forget the tagline, but it's about building a brand that, people are obsessed with. It's very, very fascinating. And they basically study brands like Airbnb. They study huge brands and what you can take from it as a personal brand, as a company. Um, and what it really helps you do is dig down into why people care, right? So instead of saying like, oh, well, it's because my lipstick is the best, or it's because my this, like, why do they care? And that is what is going to help you stand out. And that's why, that's why you see a lot of the content creators. We went from 3 ways to XYZ to how I XYZ as a blank, right? It's why we have to stand out by making sure we're talking about why we're the expert, right? We can't just like throw random tips out there and hope and pray someone listens. You can find anything on Google. You can find it on ChatGPT. So why do I care why you are telling me about the best lip gloss or the best light ring, right? So that book is incredible for really helping you understand like why. How do you get people obsessed with your content, your strategy? It's just really, really eye-opening just to hear all the data and case studies behind it. And then the other would be Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller.
Foundational book. Foundational.
Yes. Seriously, those two, I think, really, like, even though I've been in it for a long time, you've been in it for a long time, right? But like just hearing other people's perspectives and reading the impact that these little tweaks have on people's businesses is wild. So really, really cool stuff.
Ooh, so many good gems and resources. So y'all make sure that you check those out. And I'm definitely about to download Obsessed because that sounds like a really great book. And I love Airbnb because like people are. I just booked the Airbnb not too long ago. Like I want to know like what is it behind it?
Because they're like, Airbnb was like, no, this is why people use our site. And they're like, no, it's not. This is why. And it like, and they shared, I don't want to give it away because I was just like, holy bananas, that's so true. And it's like, why do they care? Why do they care? Just keep asking yourself, why do people care about what you sell? And you'll be like, oh my God, that's the pain point. That's the desire. And it's just, it changes everything. And I honestly think once I figured that out for myself and once I figured out for my clients, that's when their content starts to stand out. Because the more you're self-aware too, marketing is self-awareness on top of being aware of who your people are. It'll really help. And I think that makes Instagram feel a lot less daunting. When you're self-aware, you know your goals, you know your purpose, you feel a lot more confident to talk about it.
Oh, and the ending gem that was dropped, mic drop. Mic drop. Oh, this has been such a great episode. You've dropped so many gems. Please go back and pick these gems up. Everyone take notes because there was some fire in this episode. But before we head out, Shannon, please let us know where can we follow you online because we definitely got to follow you on Instagram. And if you have anything that you would like to share with the listeners here today about your programs, how to work with you, because if we need to level up on Instagram, I know that you're the person that we need to go to.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, my Instagram handle is Shannon McKinstrie. Website's the same. I'm also on TikTok, Threads. I'm a lot of places. You don't have to be everywhere. Don't worry. I'm obsessed with this stuff. And probably the best place to just kind of get a quick little jump start. I have a little playbook called How to Grow Your Gram guide. That's in my bio. It's just $37 and it comes with caption templates to get you on your little way and killing it. It's got lots of good stuff in there. Basically everything I've learned over all this time, just in a little ebook for you. So yeah,
Awesome.
Just DM me.
Yes, DM her, but we'll also have all the information in the show notes so you can check that out. That sounds really amazing for $37. So you might want to make sure that you check out that resource. But thank you so much, Shannon. This has been a really great episode packed with so many gems. We're about to all grow on the gram. So get ready, everybody. And thank you all so much for tuning into today's episode. And I will talk to you in the next one. Peace.